Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video. And Spoilers Week continues. It has slowed down, I admit, but there's still a couple of them out there to cover. The first one I want to look at today is Yoda himself. He is a zero-cost character. Oh, that's not the Yoda character at all. This is an event, Premonitions. It looks interesting. So basically, you play Premonitions with a card that you put down, face down, which is very interesting. So your opponent doesn't know what this mystery card is that you're going to be playing. And then later in the game, when your Premonition comes true and you draw another copy of Premonitions, you play that copy of Premonitions and you get to take this mystery card and boosh, you get to play it for free. Yeah, so you get to play it for free. That seems pretty good, theoretically. So the problem with the card is that it's late game. So you have to know you're going late game to get full value out of this card. You have to have a card that you're okay with if you don't play it. So you basically have to draw Premonitions with a pretty expensive card together to be able to get good value out of it. You don't want to Premonition something like Rey's Staff and then late game be like, yeah, Rey's Staff for free, no less. But it is incredibly flexible. It's very similar to Strong with the Force, or the Force is Strong, I think it's called, where it's a support that costs 1, and if you have another copy of this card that's in your discard pile, then you can play it for free. This is far more flexible than that. It's a one-time use. I should rephrase that. It's both more flexible and way less flexible. So it's more flexible in that you can hit anything. You can hit an ATST, right? You can just play a Finn blue deck, put an ATST under there, and boom, play it for free. You could play a Falcon for free late game, which could be really devastating. There's a lot of things you could do for free that could be really cool. I mean, another example is just, say, a Force Throw. You have a Force Throw already on the board. You can't really afford another one. You put it under Premonitions, and in late game, boom, I have another Force Throw. Or maybe it's a reversal or some really maybe it's that blue card that's failing me. Let me find it real quick while we're doing this. This one, Decisive Blow. Maybe it's Decisive Blow, and you're like, and they're like, he has no resource. I don't have to worry about Decisive Blow, and you just go Premonitions. I mean, that would be amazing, right? So there's all of these amazingly cool plays you can make with Premonitions. The problem is it a good card? That's the problem. And I hesitate to say yes, because you really need to see that second copy. You can certainly make it somewhat safe by playing Return of the Jedi. You could play 2 Return of the Jedis and do this trick twice. I mean, that could be really cool, actually. For 2 resources, you could get both Premonitions back and basically reduce the cost of something by 2 if you're willing to use 2 cards and 2 resources and several actions to do it. It's possible. So I don't know what to think about Premonitions. I tend to think no. Maybe in combination with the Force is Strong, there's some really cool, interesting, just cheater deck that puts out, and maybe with binds, and then it's like maybe 3 blue characters or something, and all these blue upgrades that you're getting for free and cheating out between Premonitions and Force is Strong and binds, and maybe I tend to think no. But it's a cool alternative. I like the design of the card. I think it's neat. As we can do more looking through our decks with cards like Pulling the Strings, which, by the way, is a dark side card, those kind of cards would work really well with Premonitions. Also, stuff like Boundless Ambition, which, again, dark side, but maybe Don't Get Cocky, Award Ceremony, Promotion. All of these cards kind of make these work a little better, but at the end of the day, it's probably too inefficient to see a tier 1 competitive deck, but maybe we'll see it elsewhere. I'm not entirely sure what the answer is going to be on that. Maz's Goggles is a card we're going to see. We're going to see Maz's Goggles. Maz's Goggles is cool. 1 cost right there. Pretty good. 1 cost attachment that has 2 focus side on it. That's pretty good. And it's a money card. We don't have a lot of these attachments that make a lot of money. People think of Datapad as one, but it only has the one base side. It has two plus sides. So this actually works really well with Datapad. I could see a deck that was something like Maz, her goggles, a Datapad, and a Cunning, all on Maz, doing crazy things with somebody like Luke. So you're looking at it and you're going, I kind of need to kill Luke, but if I don't kill Maz, Maz is insane. She's, rolling out Maz, hitting a 2 and a 1 focus, resolving those, focusing 3 dice, or focusing a Datapad to do a Cunning, just all kinds of different things you could do with that. And then, just in addition to all the great sides, why not? Why not have it also be kind of a mill card too, or just a stop the shenanigans card? It's a really versatile, cool card. It's just a great support card that fits in a lot of deck types, because a lot of times these types of support cards, we look at them at first and we're like, yeah, Datapad's the best. And then as we start going along more and more, we go, I mean, I'd love the money, but it's a little slow. It's just not enough. This is kind of like Datapad with more options, right? Maybe you don't want the money. Maybe you want focus. Datapad's focus is not quite as flexible as this one, just having 2 focus sides on it, and having that special, being able to pull that devastating event, whether that be the No Mercy, the Force Strike, bait and switch, the hit and run, whatever it is, the removal. It's got it, and it's repeatable. I think Maz's Goggles is very good. I think it's going to see play, and I just realized this is a legendary? What? Okay. All right. Maz's Goggles is a legendary. Why not? It is only 1 cost. It's very aggressively costed. I'm not shocked it's a legendary, but it's a good card. Okay. The last one today is one that we saw a couple days ago, which is Luminara Unduli. Oh, Luminara. I don't know what to make of Luminara, to be honest. I feel like in Awakenings, she might have been okay. You pair her with Rey. It's okay. The problem with pairing her with Rey is resolving another character die increased by 2 doesn't work that well with Rey, because her dice are so weird. So you're basically having to hit her die. So I'm not sure who she goes with. But the real question that we will always face when your cost is 13, 17, and you're blue is, are you better than Qui-Gon? And I'm not totally convinced she is. Qui-Gon also has the 1 and 2, and then he has 2 shields, which also function as damage side. So Qui-Gon is basically a 4 damage side or 2 damage side, 2 incredibly flexible sides die, which is a far better die than Luminara's. But Luminara has this crazy ability to be able to increase a side by 2 or maybe even 3 if you're using the single die variant of her especially, and you do something, so you have 17 left over. You can do a lot with 17. That's a 9 and an 8. You're looking at a lot of different choices there, with potential non-unique characters. So I mean, it's possible that there's some 3 character deck where you're just exploiting the heck out of Luminara, but if you only have the 1 die with Luminara to do that, it doesn't feel quite as good. So I don't know what to make of her, to be honest. I don't think she's going to be good, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's that flexibility of being able to do anything you want by 2 just ends up being that good. Maybe the flexibility of suddenly whatever you roll is fine. I rolled a resource. Darn. Well, you know what? I rolled 3 resources. That's not bad. I rolled the discard side. Fine. It's 3 discard. The problem is, in order to do that, it costs 2 dice. And that's what we really need to remember. Is that anytime we're using this ability, you're giving up, say, 2 damage. Or a focus that would do 2 damage. So I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. It's a really interesting die. I mean, you could look at it as almost 4 damage sides with the 1, the 2, the focus, and the special. So I don't know. I tend to think probably not. But I am eager to be proven wrong with her. You could certainly go Elite her, Elite Rey. You could choose either her or Qui-Gon to be Elite and run them both side by side. I'm not entirely sure. Leaving you with only 13 is a little rough. You can't run 2 more characters. It's going to be 1 more character, and there are several choices for elites. You could run Maz. You could run Rey. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't know yet. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about Luminara. I tend to think a little on the no side, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong on that one. I kind of hope so. All right, so that's this week's spoilers. We will see the rest of the set starting tomorrow at midnight in LA. There's a group that's doing it at midnight in LA tomorrow night. So get ready, buckle up. We're going to see the rest of the set. So next week I'll have the rest of the set, spoiler reviews, and then I'm going to do an overview and really start looking at what are we looking at? What are some decks? I've already played a bunch of decks. I've been streaming them on Twitch Tiny Grimes, so check those out if you want. I played today Death Trooper, FN, Unkar, all single dice, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't amazing, but FN is truly amazing. So it's going to be a question of what is the right pairing with FN. All right, I'll see you next time.